My grandfather didn't realize that the kindly Dudine who was helping us to find some more gnomes was none other than Mr. DJ Mulrooney. Now, knowing Grandfather's terrible temper, I wasn't about to tell him, since everything was going so smoothly on our gnome hunt. But it didn't stay smooth. The moment we stopped at a motel for the night, our troubles began. Mr. Mulrooney put Grandfather and me into a picnic lunch basket and carried us into the motel. When he gave his name to the clerk, Grandfather heard it and began to shout and yell things like, "Mulrooney the Marauder himself!" and "We've been trapped! Let me out of here!" Well, all of this attracted the attention of a miserable dudeen named Quaxton who ran a sideshow called Quaxton's Academy of Fantastic Freaks. But we finally got into our rooms and Mr. Mulrooney let us out of the picnic basket.
Mulrooney, you conniving, double-dealing, dudeen!
Settle yourself down.
How can I settle myself down when I find myself traveling in the very company of the all-worst enemy?
Nobby, that is not so.
Unscrupulous lying, prevaricator, getting us to leave our redwood sanctuary under false pretenses. Oh, but he's a scheming one.
He did it for you. We'd rather be in Seattle.
Oh, don't give me none of your druthers, you Mulrooney in the making.
All right, Nobby, enough of this yelling now. You want to arouse the whole neighborhood?
Grandpa, even saying what you're saying's true.
Of course it's true. Are you insinuating your own grandfather's a liar?
No, Grandpa, I'm only asking you to give Mr. Mulrooney a chance to explain.
I ain't listening to nothing more that one's got to say. Mulrooney, lying, cheating, scheming.
Nobby, calm down. Listen a minute. I'm only trying to help.
Oh, no, you don't, Mulrooney. I fell for that line before.
Now, I'm a little different from a lot of other lumbermen.
You can say that again. You're the worst.
You want to find gnomes, don't you?
Not with you, I don't.
Nobby, supposing just for the sake of argument that everything you say about me is true.
I can admit it.
I do not admit anything. I'm only saying that even if it were true, that's all in the past, yesterday. Let's talk about tomorrow.
Who's tomorrow, yours?
No, yours, you rock-headed little mule and Jasper's. Now we're doing everything we can to help you.
And I told you I don't want nothing to do with no help from you.
Grandpa, please, just try to hear Mr. Mulrooney out. Try to trust him.
I'm gonna trust a predatory bumpkin with a hungry eye and an empty belly.
All right, Nobby, I've had it. I've tried everything, even humbled myself in the hope that you'd see the light. And hope is all you've got left, you stubborn old donkey. This is the end. Tomorrow morning, first light of day, we're going back to the redwoods. And we're going to drop you up and be free of you. And from that moment on, as far as I'm concerned, you never even existed.
And that goes for me, too. But Grandfather...
Now I'm going to get the car service, and I don't want to waste a minute tomorrow.
Can I come with you?
Yes, come on.
Well, soon after they left, the telephone rang and Elizabeth answered it. The caller told her that her grandfather had been in a terrible accident, and she ran from the room. Well, the next thing we knew, that miserable dudeen Quaxton was in the room. He scooped up Grandfather and me and put us back into the basket and ran out of the motel to his old truck. Then we were off on a long and uncomfortable ride. It was dark and cold, and we were bounced around as we traveled over rough roads. Well, finally, the truck stopped, and Quaxton took out the basket and went into some kind of a building where he left us. In the meantime, Mr. Mulrooney was having problems of his own. There hadn't been an accident, of course. That was just Quaxton's dirty trick to get Elizabeth out of the room so he could kidnap us. Well, as soon as Mr. Mulrooney and the kids got back to the motel room and found that we were gone, Mr. Mulrooney went into action.
Only what I expected. Nobody in the hotel saw anything.
Why don't you call the police?
Oh, no, not the police. Tell the police and the next thing the papers will be full of it. It's just what we promised Nobby wouldn't happen. This is a job for my own security staff. I can trust my own team, and that's just what we need now. Operator, would you get me person-to-person San Francisco, Mr. Ralph Yarby?
Mr. Yarby, it's for you. DJ's on the line.
DJ? DJ, where are you? We've been trying to reach you for...
Ralph, they're gone. Missing.
Gone, not...
That's right. Kidnapped.
Well, have you notified the police yet?
Ralph, boy, they're the last ones in the world I want to call now.
Good thinking, DJ. Yes, the press get a hold of this, and the kidnappers get scared, and the children have had it.
Who said anything about children?
Now listen, Ralph.
This is going to be hard for someone like you to accept, but you've got to believe me. Do you understand?
Well, I always understand, DJ.
Well, it's the gnomes who've been kidnapped. The gnomes.
DJ, something seems to have gone wrong with the phone. Would you mind repeating that last?
Can you hear me now?
You're coming through clear now.
I said a pair of gnomes, little people. Now, there's not a minute to lose. I want you to put our security people on this right away, and I mean right now.
Security, right now, right away.
And remember, nobody's to know about this besides our own people, or there's no telling what might happen.
You couldn't be more right, DJ. Look, where are you right now? Cedar Creek Lodge. Right, I'll fly up there and meet you there tonight. All right, goodbye.
Now, how a dudeen who worked for such a wonderful dudeen as Mr. Mulrooney could be so stupid, I don't know. But Mr. Yarby was. And instead of getting security to work trying to find us, he spirited Mr. Mulrooney away into a sanitarium with bars on the windows. There, Mr. Mulrooney was interviewed by some dudeen doctors in the mistaken belief that he was crazy. Now comes the part of the story the children will like the best. For the kids, Elizabeth and Rodney went to their grandfather's rescue. They had to do some very brave things to get Mr. Mulrooney out of the jail he was in, but they succeeded. So the three of them in the Gnome-Mobile set off to locate Mr. Quaxton and us. Now, I had been working most of the night trying to get the basket open, but with no luck. By morning, Grandfather was completely discouraged. But then, suddenly, the latch slipped open.
Come on, Grandpa. Oh, me poor egg. I can't even climb out of here, let alone escape.
Well, you leave that to me.
Maybe if you go with that question, fella, and be any show like you said, you'd make out.
Never. I wouldn't spit on her doing like that, Quaxton.
Well, maybe so. Do as you like. Me, I'm wanting to fade away and call it quits.
Oh, that's enough of that kind of talk, Grandpa. Come on, we're getting out of here.
Suppose we do it, Steve. What good's it going to do us? We're the last of the gnomes, you and me. This is the end of the line.
Grandpa, look, there's a beautiful forest down the road a piece. Now, you'll feel more yourself when we get you back where you belong.
Just then, Quaxton came back. As he opened the door, we ran out and Grandpa got away. But Quaxton caught me by the heels. I shouted to Grandpa to keep going, that I'd catch up with him later. Then I wriggled free from Quaxton, and we had quite a free-for-all round and round the cabin. Well, I finally got up on a chandelier and jumped down on Quaxton's head. I drove his hat right down over his eyes. So I almost won the fight alone, but DJ and the kids burst in right then, and that was the end for Mr. Quaxton. Now we had to find Grandpa, so the four of us set out in the Gnome-Mobile again. But Mr. Yarby and the dudeen doctors were still on Mr. Mulrooney's trail, and we soon found that we were being followed by a big, powerful new car. Oh, it was a wild chase, especially when Mr. Mulrooney drove off the highway into the rough trails through the forest. The great old Gnome-Mobile took the bumps easily, but Mr. Yarby's big new car fell apart, piece by piece, and when we last saw him, it was a complete wreck. Mr. Mulrooney then drove us to the piece of virgin redwood forest he had mentioned before. It was the most beautiful sight I had ever seen. He said he was sure that my grandpa would have found his way there, so we got out of the Gnome-Mobile and tried to find him.
Grandpa! Grandpa!
Nobby! Nobby!
Nobby!
Nobby! Where are you?
Grandpa! Grandpa! Show yourself! Nobby! Grandpa!
He faded away. Oh, no! Nobby! No! I think I hear something.
Yahoo! Yippee! Yahoo! Yahoo! Yippee! Grandpa, what's happened? What's got into you? Mulrooney, you all right? We ain't the only gnomes in the world. Yippee! Rufus?
Yeah?
Come on out and meet my dudeen friends.
Oh, yes. Well, any friend of Nobby's is a friend of ours. Hello, Dudeen. Welcome.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Hi.
And is this the young one who would like to meet some other gnome?
Yes, sir. I sure would.
Well, all right. My boy, if you were afraid that you were the last of the gnomes, take heart. There's lots of us, and here's the proof. You needn't ever be lonesome again.
Something ahead of you, boy? Ain't you glad to find more gnomes?
Well, yeah, Grandpa, only, well, what about the, well, you know what I mean.
All right, Alfred, what do you mean?
Nobby, I think what the boy's trying to say is, are there any girl gnomes?
Well, of course, how stupid of me. Rufus here has more girl gnomes than he knows what to do with. Right, Rufus?
Oh, well, you know I have. My goodness, I got girls. I got big girls, and I really mean big ones, and little girls, if you want to know it. I got medium-sized ones, and I got girls. Well, I've got some, I'll show you. Girls! Girls! Come on out, girls! The eligible gnome is here!
Suddenly there burst out of the ferns 12 of the most beautiful girl gnomes I had ever seen. There was Poppy, Petunia, Heather, Morning Glory, Snapdragon, Buttercup, Daisy, Thistledown, Primrose and Dewdrop, Azalea and Pearl Blossom. Then very shyly came a 13th, Violet. And it was love at first sight.
Well, come on, boy. If that's the one, go ahead and take her.
Oh, no, you don't.
And why not? He's picked the one he wants.
The one he wants. Oh, my goodness. It's not the male that picks his mate. It's the she-male that picks the date. I mean the tricks her fate. Oh, my goodness. No, I mean tricks her gate. Oh, what's the difference? It'll all end out all right. It's the oldest law in nature.
I never heard such nonsense.
What are you talking about, Nobby? You know that whenever we have a bumper crop of females, we like to give every maiden a chance.
Well, you mean he's stuck with whoever picked him?
Now you're getting it. Prepare the eligible gnome.
Well, I surely didn't know what I was in for. First, they tossed me, clothes and all, into a foamy pool. Then they put me in the center of a circle of the girls. Rufus told them the rules. They had to catch me and hold on to me while he counted to 7. It was a wild chase under the trees, through the treetops, even inside a hollow tree when I slid down to try and let Violet catch me. But the other girls got there first. I was so slippery, none of the girls could hold on for a count of 7. To get away from the others, I jumped into the foamy pool again and rose out of it inside a giant bubble. As I rose in the air, I saw Violet right below me, so I pricked the bubble and dropped into her arms. But the other 12 girls jumped on top. Now there I was, one lone boy gnome under a mountain of girls. When we got all untangled, though, Violet had caught me and held on while Rufus counted to 7. Very slowly, I thought.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's Violet! Violet is the official winner! By the power and authority vested in me by the Gnomish Council of Elders, I now pronounce you gnome and wife.
Oh, go ahead, boy. Kiss her, kiss her. Do I have to do everything for you?
Folks, may I have your attention, please? To honor this memorable occasion, sort of as a wedding present, I am deeding to the gnomes 50,000 acres of virgin redwoods to be yours for eternity, and even longer. Any and all young married couples who want to come along and start a new colony, there's a Gnome-Mobile leaving immediately.